This video is about confounding variables. So I'm going to define it, I'm going to tell you how to find it, and we're going to use the same alcohol and speech study to do that. So first of all, the definition of confounding variable. It's kind of a mouthful, but the definition of confounding variable is any variable that varies systematically with the independent variable. Okay, now I would never expect anybody to memorize that. That's super abstract, but we're really going to go through and explain what I mean by that. But again, it's any variable that varies systematically with the independent variable. And confounds are a real problem in research because they can affect the interpretation of results. All right, so that's the abstract part. Now down to the more concrete part. How do you find a confounding variable? Well, there are two places to look for a confounding variable in your research. The first place is the actual people in each group. The people in each group should be similar to the people in every other group. If not, you have a confound. All right, so what do I mean by that? I mean that the people that get 0 drinks should be as similar as possible on every important dimension to the people that get 2 drinks. Now, it's okay if there's variability, right? So these people can vary. It doesn't have to be all females. These people can vary, but they have to vary the same way that these people vary. Okay, so there can be variability in the participants, but the way they vary here needs to be the same as the way they vary here. Okay, again, that's still super abstract, but let's assume for a moment that when we looked at the gender of these people, that the people that got 0 drinks were predominantly males. So let's say 4 out of 5 people that got 0 drinks were males. And in contrast, 4 out of 5 people that got 2 drinks were females. Now, if you think gender is something that might affect how people process alcohol, which I think it does, then what you have here is a confound, because the people in this group are predominantly males and the people in this group are predominantly females. So in this case, our confound is gender. Now, is it okay for you to vary gender? Of course, you can have a mix of males and females in your study, but the mix of males and females in this group should be the same as the mix of males and females in this group. You can even have more males than females. That's okay too, so long as you have more males in each group. So if instead, let me see if I can change the color here. So if instead in this 2 drinks group, we had 4 males and 1 female, then you no longer have this confound, because even though we're heavy on the males, we're heavy on the males in each group. Okay, so the first place to look for confounds is the actual people in the group. If I give you any sort of descriptions of the participants, I want you to look carefully and ask yourself, are the people in this group similar to the people in this group? If they're not, chances are that is a confound. And some of the most common ways that we're going to see those things vary in this class are gender, age, major, year in school, ethnicity, things like that. All right, so the second place that we can see a confound, and let me change the color again just so that I can illustrate it here. So the second place that you often see confounds is in the way that the groups are treated. So in any study, the only thing that should differ in the way that you treat the groups is the actual treatment you're giving them. So when we think about this study, the only thing that we should do differently with these people compared to these people is that we should give these people no drinks and these people 2 drinks. Literally anything else that we do different in the way that we treat these people and these people is a confound. All right, so if, for example, I am the one that gives the 0 drinks to people, but for, just the sake of ease, I have Dr. Breen give the 2 drinks group or their treatment, that is a confound. All right, if I'm the one that gives the 0 drinks and Dr. Breen is the one that gives the 2 drinks, we have varied experimenter. And that's a confound. If I do the 0 drinks group in the morning and the 2 drinks group in the afternoon, time is a confound. If I do the 0 drinks group, I don't know, in Bachman building, and I do the 2 drinks group in the Rab, even though this might seem like a silly difference, anything you do to treat this group differently than this group outside of the actual treatment is a confound. Okay, so I love confounding variables. I can tell you I'm going to put one on every exam. I'm going to put one on half of your homeworks. There's actually a separate homework looking at confounding variables. The key with this is you want to look in these 2 places, the actual people in the groups and also how you treat the groups. The people in this group should be as similar as possible to the people in this group. If not, you have a confound. And what you do to this group should be exactly the same as what you do to this group. The only thing that should be different is the actual treatment. And if you do anything different, it's a confound.